Okay, this is the after 3 bar. We're in an area called Areia Preta. I'm just gonna glance in and just see what it looks like. Let's see. Looks pretty cool. Okay, so this is Areia Preta. We're gonna explore it. I'm gonna explain a little bit more about it. And let's get started. We're gonna start exploring. So I think I'm gonna try to walk over towards this waterway, so. Go check out the road. Okay, I'm the content creator for this channel. If you like what I'm doing, just subscribe and hit the like button. So this whole area is called Areia Preta. I'll try to explain it a little bit, and we're going to try to walk towards this waterway. And one of the things about Areia Preta is it's an area that used to be like old. It was never part of Macau, but now it is. So we're just going to see if we can. We're going to just kind of try to do some guesswork with where to try to go. I think we're going to try to go that way. Okay, so we're in Areia Preta. And actually this area is kind of interesting because well, it's kind of like this area, it's a little bit industrial feeling, and the industrial feeling is going to come over here, which is kind of what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to go over to this waterway. Let me tell you a little bit about this area. So this was like 200-300 years ago, when this was Portuguese owned the stuff that was just south of here. This would have been kind of like the countryside. So people would have bought little homes in this area, and they had a Portuguese name for it, and this would have been like kind of a no man's land for the Chinese and Portuguese. So it would have been part of China, but it would have been and what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try to find a way. Let's try to follow this. I want to try to find this. I think this might be where this little country home stuff was at. So this whole area is really flat. This Areia Preta. I'll write it out. I know my pronunciation isn't right, but anyways, the flat area, they would have planes would land here. Originally, when the first planes were coming in or out of Macau, they would use this flat area called Areia Preta. So it's just kind of endlessly flat. And now it's just a bunch of really tall buildings everywhere. And it's part of Macau, of course, now. But historically, it would have been part of China, and kind of like not really much going on here. So what we're gonna do today is see how close we can get to the waterway. And I think you see, I can kind of see these hills right here, and then I think over on that side somewhere there's like a waterway. I don't know how we're gonna get over there. There's the traffic is pretty crazy in this spot, and it looks like there's okay, we're gonna try to do our best and try to get over there. I can see, like, I've never been over here, but it's all called Areia Preta. I don't know, I might not even be able to get over there at all. But basically this area, oh, get over there right here. How did I not see that? So usually we have the right of way here, so I should be able to walk through without getting hit, technically. And we're gonna keep walking. This is a pretty busy intersection. So this Areia Preta, that was all flat land. So I guess they used to have, I'll explain it when it's not so loud. See that street, it says Rua dos Pescadores. That means the street of the fishermen. So this is what I was looking for. Street of the fishermen. I'll explain it all in a minute when I get away from the traffic. So it is again right there. Rua dos Pescadores, street of the fishermen. Okay, let me get up there and then I'll explain. Kind of a royal traffic at this hairpin turn right there. So yeah, it's really interesting. I've never been here. I've been living in Macau for quite a while, but people don't really come up here. And I have this little crib sheet that I wrote down because I started looking at this book by Jason Wordy, and it has a lot of history about Macau. And this whole area, basically, like, this is what some of the first horse races was here, and then I think these little hills right here, they started building little homes in them, and they were outside of Portugal. But I guess like there was no borders a long time ago. We're talking like a couple hundred years ago, when it would have been part of Portugal, but there was no homes for there's no border. But I guess apparently in here, I have it all written down, but there's on the border zone, there was police houses here, and it says they were yellow, lemon yellow with ox blood red roofs. That's an interesting interpretation or description. So anyways, actually that house up there looks kind of lemon yellowish. I don't know if it's part of this or not. I don't even know if we're still on Pescadores either. Oh, we're on Estrada de Maria. Oh, this is exactly what I was looking for. Perfect. The other one was the Street of the Fishermen. This one right here, Estrada de Maria, this is the other I was looking for. This is great. I'll explain that in a minute too. Let's just see what's going on there. So they're doing a lot of construction there. Okay, I think this is what I was trying to find anyways. So let's try to get up in that way. But yeah, this particular woman, let me see if I can find a way over there. Let me see. There's a gate right there, but that gate is locked. So it might have to go around like that. And if I can't get in, it's okay too. So we'll just see. But this is basically Pescadores is straight that way. And then this is, so these two are kind of historical. So one would be the Street of the Fishermen, and then the other one would have been named after a Queen of Portugal. And I have that all written down on my crib sheet as well. So her name was, let me just get a little further here. I'll come back to you, I'll try to get in that space. All kinds of crazy stuff here. The traffic is loud in this area too. There's kind of a cool building over there, kind of tapers down like that, and a Scola. Yeah, I've never been over in this part of Macau. So it's a college. Okay, so I have my little script sheet here. So the Estrada de Dona Maria II was named after the Queen of Portugal. So it's Queen of Portugal 1819 to 1853. Let's see what this is over here. So I can't see that because it's too far. It'd be funny if we could get an entrance right here in a minute. Let me just see here. Oh, this is closed. The mountain garden of Russia Mountain. It's closed. Huh. That could be pretty cool if that was open too, right? Dang. Okay, well, we can't get into any of those things, but we will try to explore more. Wow, look at that statue right over there. Might have to run over there now. Dang it. This is a whole new area for me. So let me just see. Dang, we just keep exploring in all these different directions. I've never been in this area. And I kind of want to see that statue too. Dang. Okay, so she was a queen. She was called Maria, the Good Mother. Maria Aboa Mai in Portuguese. Man, that park looks so inviting. That's pretty cool too. Well, anyways, I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Let's just kind of see what the statue's all about. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff in here. Let's see what this says. Okay. So João Bosco, St. John, Father and Teacher of Youth, 1850. Okay. Okay, so that's what that is. Man, there's just so much different stuff up here. I just had no idea. So we're gonna try to go down this hill and we'll keep explaining this area. So this whole area called Areia Preta was, there's a cemetery straight ahead too. This is where they do cremations at. So this whole list, that whole row of stuff is all cremation. So I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's all these little boxes. You pull out the boxes and you put the cremation, and there's little pictures of them as well. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. So that's as far as I can zoom in, but each of these little boxes has a picture of the person that died, and then they have flowers of them as well. So so yeah, I wish I could get a little bit closer, but this is as close as I want to get right now. So we're gonna walk down this street and just kind of check this out. So I believe that that must be a cemetery right here, but I couldn't really tell you 100%. So yeah, this is called Areia Preta, and basically in this area they used to have the first horse races that were set up were in this area, and also the first, not an airport, but the first times that the planes would come and land somewhere. Before they set up an airport, you know, planes would fly. I think there's a famous one that flew, I think, from Lisbon to Macau, and they probably would have landed in this area, Areia Preta. So so anyways, we came by two famous streets, Pescadores, the fishermen, and then the other one named after the Queen of Portugal. And let me get back to you. I'm just going to try to get to the next interesting spot. These are those cool shaped buildings right there. Actually, now I know exactly where we are. I didn't realize I was going to be in this space. This is a really amazing connection to be at. It's pretty loud, so I'm going to get back to you in a minute. I'm filming this spot real quick, and then right there is Gia Hill, so that's where the lighthouse is at. And we're going to walk down this street, and I'll explain more in a minute. So we were just up in that little mess of cool stuff, and then this little mess of cool stuff is a waterfront, one of the many waterfronts, more of like a water reservoir, and everything that's over on that side is all Areia Preta. So we were up over there, and then we would have came probably around down this way all the way over here. So we would have started up in that area somewhere. So let's there's people that do jogging here. So and there's those yellow boxes. So that yellow box would have been that lemon yellow box. Just gonna take a look at everything. That over there is the like Fisherman's Wharf is over there, which is kind of a tourist area, and also the ferry terminal as well, which is completely closed right now. And that building right there is where the Grand Prix is at. So okay. And then I think this yellow box is, I think that's that one that had all the police checks that we were talking about. So earlier we were talking about these little boxes would have been here a long time ago. It's like this would have been a border area. So this would have been, let me see, we'll keep walking around a little bit. So there probably would have been a lot more of those. A lot of people are jogging in this area, so have to kind of stay out of the way a little bit. This is kind of interesting too, this little guard, so if somebody falls over, I guess they're kind of protected there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find a place to sit down. There's a lot of people jogging, so we'll just find a place to relax, if it's possible. And then I'm going to kind of go through some of the stuff about this area. Let me just see. I'm just going to grab that spot. We'll just keep on walking. So yeah, actually you can actually go all the way around this whole little jogging path. So I think Areia Preta would have been a place where there would have been they call it Choksan 1, like black sand beach. So people used to come over, and this would have been the place they'd go to go swimming a long time ago. But yeah, anyways, all that over there is all Areia Preta. So that's where we originally was going to start at. And so, okay, let me just try to find a place to sit here. Then we're just going to go through some of this stuff. Okay, so this is all my sheet. So we'll just kind of tell you some of the stuff that basically like this Areia Preta, I guess they well, I have quite a bit of information here, so I won't process it all. But I think what I'll do is I'll just end it today, and then we'll just stop at this particular spot. So I think it's a good ending spot. if you're curious or you want to talk more about Areia Preta, just let me know, and we're gonna stop it right there. MGM Casino, you can see that in the distance too. Okay, let's just see if we want to go up that way or not. Don't know what it is, for one. Well, I guess we're gonna go see what it is, so I'll turn on the camera when we get up there. Okay, so actually what I just did is I just went around this little waterway, and then I climbed up this hill, and now I'm back at these factories. So so earlier when I was talking about the Queen of Portugal, the street was named after, I also read about this lookout, and this little lookout they said didn't really have any value, but then they started building communication towers up in this area. This would have been it. Then they would have bombed it back in the World War II, and Japan would have been here. So then they started to Japan occupied this place and had a Pacific War, and so Hong Kong was occupied by Japan, and Macau was kind of like a neutral area with Portuguese. And then but they had some installations that Portugal used to communicate with Macau back and forth, and I guess that was bombed by the United States because they weren't sure what it was exactly. So I guess all those communication towers, all that kind of stuff would have happened up in this space. So anyways, we'll just end it. And actually that's kind of interesting. There's a little, looks like a Mary statue. I was gonna end it right here, but oddly enough, we're kind of back in full circle again. And another thing too is you can see this black and yellow bumpers. That's where the Macau Grand Prix will race people around. Anyways, this is a good spot to end this particular one. Actually, we're gonna come back to her name again as well. It's amazing. So yeah, there it is, Estrada de Maria 2. Chiquinha, chiquinha.